Let's talk about Moonbase 8. I've watched all the episodes. I love the show. It's fantastic. I told you this before we started, but I watched them all, and then my son wanted to see it, so I rewatched them with my son, who also loved it. So I've seen them twice.
Awesome.
It's a really great show.
Thank you. Thank you. He's going to start asking for beef-style stew now.
I know. Well, this is the thing. It's such a great idea, and the funny thing is that you made this show, you and Fred Armisen and Tim Heidecker, you guys made this show before the pandemic, but it's such a pandemic show because it's about these guys who are training to maybe go to the moon someday in the middle of this Arizona, desert in this little fake environment, and you guys are sort of quarantined together.
Yeah.
I mean, that's there actually is an episode
called Quarantine,
and you made all of this before the pandemic, but it's sort of this perfect show for right now.
Yeah, people used to say to me when I was young, when I would get lucky, they're like, Reilly, you're born with a horseshoe up your ass. Like this, I don't know if you ever heard that expression.
I have not.
It means you're very lucky,
Oh, if only I had a horseshoe in my ass. Oh, to be that lucky.
Can we swear on here now, by the way?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Really, we're free of the constraints?
Yes, yeah.
All right, A.
That's coming out.
Okay. We made this show. We Fred and Tim and I, and also John Kreisel, who did Baskets and has worked with Tim and Eric a bunch in the past, and did Portlandia, and the four of us really put the show together. But the initial instinct was me, Tim, and Fred wanted to just spend a lot of time together and find a project where we could, just goof off and be confined to the same. Why would three men be confined to the same space? We're like, prison, the army, too expensive. I know. And I remember there was these weird experiments that they're doing right now. In Utah, there's one. In Hawaii, there's one where they're practicing being colonists on Mars and the moon. Like, you can't just send a bunch of guys up there and hope they figure it out. You have to train and figure out techniques and protocols. And so I thought that would be perfect. And then it kind of started on a text chain. And one by one, we just built these ideas and these characters. And then we thought, well, if we can get someone to pay for all these episodes, we should make it. And A24 just amazingly stepped in and let us make all 6. And it hasn't been market tested. It hasn't been, gone through the development process with executives or anything like that. So it's this weird kind of handmade, sweet show that really just reflects our sense of humor. And I feel incredibly grateful that this thing that we took this risk on, it took a second actually to sell the show. We made it, and then most the big players that put shows out, they don't really work like that. They like to have a hand in the beginning of the project.
Right.
So it took a second, and then Showtime was like, yeah, we'll take it. And then it just timed out perfectly. Suddenly Showtime was like, oh my God, we've got a golden egg.
Yeah.
The world has come around to mirror the show. Anyway, and another reason I think, especially right now, specifically this weekend, which none of us could have predicted how this weekend would feel, but the show has a kind of apolitical, just goofy humor,
No, people are ready for, I think everybody is burnt out and exhausted by what's been going on in our national discourse. And then so this show about these three, I don't want to call them idiots.
They are idiots.
But they are idiots. These three idiots who are on a moon base or practicing to maybe go to the moon, and none of them are qualified to ever go to the moon. Maybe Fred Armisen's character, but really,
well, there are a couple things. Plausible eligibility.
Yes.
Say.
But it's really, it's funny, but it's also sweet, and the fact that I loved watching it with my 15-year-old son, and we were both howling at the same stuff. I mean, that's
a good sign.
That's a real gift right now. We have a clip here. Do you know what the clip is?
Well, in this episode, our characters have had a very dispiriting and kind of self-esteem busting interaction with a SpaceX crew.
It's really funny.
The SpaceX base, turns out, we didn't realize it, is nearby in the desert. And we see them one day with these binoculars setting up, and we reach out to them, and we quickly realized, like, wow, they're a lot sexier than us.
They're much better funded. It's all Elon Musk, and
They have like Street Taco Tuesday.
Yeah.
We're like eating freeze-dried sweet potato soup, and they're having like Taco Tuesdays at their base. So anyway, we have this really kind of discouraging for us day with them, and at the end of it all, I challenged one of them to a foot race that I sadly do not win. Played by my good friend Thomas Mann,
Yeah.
who's really great in it. But anyway, at the end of it, the guys are trying to make me feel better. Like Fred Armisen says, like, you know, I think that guy cheated. And my response to him trying to buck me up is this.
let's take a look.
You know, Cap, I think that guy got the jump on you. Wish you had an instant replay camera.
Don't you get it? We did win. I'm proud of you guys. You showed up today. You made this place look like a dazzling wonder.
Yeah.
And those kids are sweet. They're dreamers, right? They think they're going to Mars. Really? Really? That program's prepared to go to Mars in their lifetime? I don't think so. Nuh-uh. Maybe in their grandchildren's lifetime they're going to Mars, but those people are not going to Mars.
Nope.
Us? We're going to the moon.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are. We are going to the moon.
Yes!
You get it?
Yeah.
You get it? And when I get up there,
Yeah, Cap.
I'm gonna look down at them, and I'm gonna flip them the bird.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna flip them the bird so bad, their heads will spin.
Heck yeah.
Because we're moon men.
Yeah.
We're going there.
3 cheers for Robert Caputo. Hip, hip, hooray! Hip, hip, hooray! Hip, hip, hooray!
Take your boots off before you go up on the table, though.
Well, can you just have his moment here?
Give me a hand down.
You can go back up, just take your boots off.
All right, well, the show is absolutely hilarious. It's Moonbase 8, and it airs Sundays at 11 p.m. on Showtime, and it really is the perfect show for right now.
Thank you.
And a great show anyway, but for right now, I really encourage people to check it out. I cannot thank you enough. I mean, I talked to you for so long, I don't know that we're going to have any other show today because I was so happy to see you in person.
Well,
it's
I'm
just a real
really-
joy.
I'm really thrilled to be back here with you again. You guys were one of the first people that took a shot at me and let me be on TV in this kind of circumstance. So I'll always be grateful to you, Conan.
Oh, cool.
And I appreciate what you're giving people right now, too, while we're all stuck at home.
Yeah, well, listen, anytime, John C. Reilly, class act, and make sure you check out Moonbase 8. You will not be sorry. It's really fantastic.